Presentations refining the exterior rendering. So what was wrong with our exterior rendering? Well, basically, we just didn't have enough collateral information. There wasn't enough trees, there wasn't houses that we could see in the distance. It just looked like we were sitting on an island with water all around. Plus, it affected the light too. So we're going to open up the site file. We're going to add some collateral information to the site file, relink that back in, and see how that improves our rendering. We're going to open up a project which is 0608 Revit Site Complete. That's the file that's linked in. So let's open that up. Let's do a save as. So this is our starting point, and we're on 22. So this is 2211. And we're going to be adding trees and houses. Okay, so I'm going to go to my 3D views and then 3D view phase 1 show complete. And let's go to the top and let's start putting some trees in. So we'll go to massing and site component. I'm going to go primarily with the red maple 30 foot, and I'll put a number of them back here. We'll also put in some coniferous as well. I like to put some just kind of near the house as well. Something like that. Got to be a little careful because yes, it does impede on the house. Okay, we can spin that around, make sure things are going the way we think. And then let's load in some other trees. We're going to load family planting, and this will be conifer. Okay, so coniferous trees, and then we'll go to site component. Let's go with a Norway spruce. And these are good for infill because they're quite a full tree. So maybe we have something lined along there, almost like a hedge. Maybe along this path, there's a few trees. We could also put some right here. Good, that'll probably be fine for trees. There's going to be trees on site. You're not just making this up out of thin air, so you put in the correct ones you want. Of course, you can click on them, edit them, and you can change their height. And, maybe we want this one to be a little bit shorter. Maybe we want it to be higher. That's something we can change. Now, keep in mind, I changed just the 30-foot one, so a little bit sloppy on my part. So that's 30 feet. If we wanted to change those, maybe that particular one, we could duplicate it and call it a red maple 20-footer. Okay, we can make that 20 feet. So you can see there you have options as far as trees. Okay, let's put in the houses and the sort of auxiliary site. This is something that you could do in another file and link it in. I don't really want to do that because we have the site here already. We can sort of use what we've got. So let's just go to home. We're going to put in floor and just kind of one big floor. And we're going to edit the type, duplicate it, just call it 1, edit the structure. And we're going to create a material called white. Now, first of all, let's start with paint, and then we'll go with just white. Okay, we'll go into the appearance, and we're going to make it white paint. Paint. Okay, there it is there, white. Now, they just did it slightly off-white. I'm going to just make it fully white. Go to graphics, use render appearance for shading, clicked on, OK, 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 and then check mark. Okay, we're going to have to be a little bit careful with the height because that's at sea level. So let's just base everything off of the top of foundation wall, and we'll drop it down by -3 feet. So I just edited the base offset to be -3 feet. Good, and we will do the same with the wall. So let's go to wall, edit type, duplicate, call it a number 1, edit the structure. This is going to be white. Okay. Okay, and it's going to be based off of top of foundation wall, -3 feet down, draw a rectangle, about that big. Okay, hit escape a couple times. Let's do the same with the roof. So we're going to click on roof, top of foundation wall, sure. And we're just going to offset it up by 20 feet. Edit the type, duplicate, number 1, and white. Oh, I said finish, but I didn't draw a sketch. So let's click on walls. Let's just put an overhang by 2 feet. and tab through the walls, click it, turn it on. There we go. So just spin it around, see what we've got. A little bit high, about like 17 feet. Okay, go back to the top again, select that object, and we'll call this one house. And we'll array it. Talk about a cookie cutter neighborhood. 6 of those across. It depends on your scope of your rendering. We could make this greater or lower. And of course, you can model the actual buildings that are there. It doesn't take too long. Some people find that that's worth it just to give it a little bit of collateral. Okay, so I'm going to just take these and we're going to array them. And I'll go down like that, make 3 rows like that. I'm just going to tab into that house there and just take it out of the equation. And then what I'll do is take this row and I'll just use my arrow keys and move it over. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact and perfect, right? We're just getting an idea for a little bit of extra stuff in our site plan. Okay, let's save that. And we can close hidden, close that. Let's open up where we left off with our building. We're going to go to 2210 Revit building. Let's open that up and let's do a save as. Just call that begin. And then we can save as again. Just call that complete. I want to go to my 3D view, 3D show complete. Let's load in the other site in place of this one. So we're going to go to Insert, Manage Links. We're going to click on this linked file and we're going to click on Reload From. And we're going to go and pick our 2211 Revit site complete. Open. It's going to say we need coordination review. That's fine. We'll just say OK to that. And then OK. And now we have some collateral information there. Now let's see how that affects our rendering. So if we go to our Addition Exterior, now we can see a little bit of stuff around there. Why can't we see that in the distance? That's the clipping. So let's just far clip active. Okay, so now we can see that house in the distance. Okay, I may just do a save before we render. And we'll click Render. We'll do a medium level of detail, exterior, sun, and artificial. Very few clouds. Let's just do a screen. And it's a smaller file, but it'll give us a good idea anyway. So let's render that. Okay, so that's complete. And we can see there's maybe a couple little tweaks we might want to do, like that tree is floating. But you can see that there's some houses. It just gives it more of a grounded or more of a real feel to it. A little bit of a tree there. Plus, the trees and all of these objects affect the lighting more realistically. Okay, so let's just save what we've done here. Close hidden windows. We actually have to shut down this file and then reopen our site. So we're going to go to Open and 2211 Site, and we'll go to 3D Phase 1 Show Complete. So this one here is kind of floating. So let's just move it in, and then I'm going to swap it for a coniferous, maybe a Colorado spruce there. Just move that over. Sometimes you even want to make sure that it's on the host, so you can pick new host. There, we'll just make sure that they, in fact, are sitting on the property. That one we'll get rid of. This one here, I think I'm also going to change that to a Colorado spruce. Okay, so let's save that, shut it down, and let's open up our building again. So open 2211 building complete. Now it's warning us again, hey, something changed. Do you need coordination review? Yeah, no problem. We'll not do that. So I'll go to Addition Exterior. Okay, so now things look a little bit better. It looks like we may still have a bit of trouble with that one, but we can adjust as needed. Okay, so let's do a rendering of this. We're going to do it high, 150 DPI. So this will take a few minutes. Okay, so that rendering's done. Let's just make sure that we save a version of that. So we'll save it to the project. Addition Exterior 2. And let's just play with the exposure a little bit here. We can maybe just make it a little bit brighter. Oh, too much. The midtones, you can make those a little bit darker, and sometimes I find that that gives it a little bit more depth, as we talked about before. You make it a touch brighter. The saturation level, I think, is pretty good. The white point, I think, is pretty good. I mean, We could make it warmer or cooler. It's really just a matter of preference. Like shadows are fine. So let's just say okay to that and we'll save to project and that'll be number 3. Okay. Now we can shut that down. Now, when we save those, they're just saved under renderings. So let's just find them in the project browser just so we can see that they are done. There it is right there. So if I just go to the question marks renderings, there's all of the ones that we've done there. Okay, and we ended up with something like that, which is quite a bit nicer. Okay, good. So we can save this and close hidden windows, shut that down.